You know she's getting filled by some black stud. You know there's some black fucking bull that's just filling her with cock meat, giving her the real fuck she deserves. Some big black bull just filling her with cock meat.
All right, folks, how we doing tonight? How are we all doing? I know. Oh, Bechtloff, I thought you were gonna take a break. Well, I am, but not until February. So I felt like streaming tonight, and part of the reason I felt like streaming. Let me go ahead and get this in here. And add source. Bear with me 1 second here, folks. So, and it's way bigger than it should be. So as you can see right here, some listener went ahead and got me the Mario Kart track. I don't have the little note he put in there, but he said he'd been listening to me for 4 years, found me through Common Filth, and as he put it, here's the $80 toy you wanted. And he also suggested I read the Mango One Punch Man. I assume he meant manga. I assume that auto-corrected on him. But perhaps I will check. I've heard a lot of good things about One Punch Man. Perhaps I will check that out. It is very superhero-y, and I do love me some superheroes. But yes, someone was kind enough to get me the Mario Kart track. Now, I have not opened it yet, even though I very much want to, because I did promise to do a video. So, I have an area set up where I can do a video. I think the lighting in there is pretty good. I found my tripod. I found my camera. However, the camera had absolutely no charge. I put the battery in the charger pack for it, and for a while, I wasn't even sure it was charging. It had like 3 lights to indicate battery strength, and there were no lights on it. And I'm like, oh shit. After a while, the one light clicked on. So depending on how long it takes to charge, I don't know. I mean, I got that camera in 2014. I attempted to do a couple of action figure reviews with it. I really wasn't good at it. And I went back to just doing the voice work, the voice content, whatever you want to call it. And I kept saying, oh, I'm going to make videos at some point. And that camera just kind of sat in a shelf for years and years and years. Probably long out of date. I don't know, maybe the video quality's going to look like shit. But we're going to try and do it. We're going to try and get it set up. Got a nice little area where I can unbox it, take it all out, put it together, and try it out. I have virtually all of the Mario Kart little guys that you can, the individual Hot Wheels that you can purchase, by themselves, except for Black Yoshi. He's apparently very hard to find. But the track, it comes with the regular Mario in standard cart. It comes with Mario in the standard cart, which you can buy individually. It comes with Yoshi in a standard cart, which you can't buy individually. You can get a green Yoshi, you can get a blue Yoshi in a standard cart, and you get a green Yoshi in one of the other types of carts. So it's kind of cool that it comes with a chase car that you can't get individually. Honestly, though, for $80, both of them should be ones you can't get separately. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to do that video tonight. Somebody says with lithium batteries, when lithium batteries are super low, they will charge in a safety charge state, then charge regular. Well, hopefully it springs back to life. Sat in a drawer for who knows how long, years upon years. But got a tripod. I should be able to get it all set up. I even have a Mario Kart sheet I can put over the table. The one year for my birthday, one of my buddies, mostly as a gag gift, got me a Mario Kart bed sheet set. I never really put it on a bed. fact, I don't even know where the mattress cover is anymore, or the pillowcases. But I kept the bed sheet. Just kept it in the linen closet as like, kind of spare blankets if guests are in the guest room kind of thing, with the spare blankets and all that. So it'll actually I'll be able to put that over the table and make a nice backdrop. Also keep the table from getting scuffed up. I don't know, who knows? It's a nice table. But yeah, hopefully I should be able to film that tonight. I know, big old loser here, playing with toys. 37-year-old man playing with toys. I'm actually not drinking water tonight. I'm drinking a little bit of pomegranate honey green tea, which is only, where the hell, it said it on here, 120 calories. It's that Palm brand where the O is a heart, antioxidant, all that other shit. Just feel like something other than water. So cheating just a little bit, but doing good this month. Doing good. So yeah, hopefully, if everything goes well, maybe I'll have that Mario Kart video up for you guys in a couple of days. I'm not gonna just put the unedited thing up there. Otherwise, I'd just stream it live if I could. Actually, that's not a bad idea. I wonder if it would be better to stream it live, because then I could get super chats. Always gotta get them ducats. No, I think actually doing a video would be good. I think doing an actual video would be good. But yeah, looking forward to it. It's I mean, it's stupid. And I'm sure I am 100% sure it is not as cool as it looks on the box. But still. So he says people fear mongering about that coronavirus on Twitter. Yeah, it's I don't know. It very much could be a pandemic. It very much could be an absolute just nightmare. But I mean, it's not yet, and there's and it's at least equal chance that it's not going to be. So I don't know what to tell you. Stock up on a little bit of hand sanitizer, maybe. Maybe get a face mask if you can find one online. It doesn't come out of China. Other than that, I don't know what to tell you. Never hurts to have extra canned foods and bullets. Pantry full of canned peaches and a safe full of bullets. Never hurts to have. But other than that, just go live your life. Because a lot of these people that are going on about it, they think, or they want to convince everybody else that when the apocalypse comes, they're going to be on top. They're going to rule this Mad Max future. No, they're not going to survive a week. I mean, I'm not going to survive a week, and I'll probably last longer than them. If for no other reason than I have friends and loved ones who give a shit if I live or die, apocalypse or no. Doesn't have a very good chance of killing humanity, but it can do some serious damage. Oh no, I don't think it's an extinction level event, but it could. I mean, I could see it worst case scenario decimating us. But again, absolute worst case scenario. And odds are, for those of us that are healthy adults, I mean, it is a strand of the flu. So odds are for those of us that are healthy adults, it's not going to kill you. At least I doubt it. The boomers, it might wipe out the boomers, but is that a bad thing? I don't know. I mean, I'd miss my dad, but maybe. But other than that, I think I can count on probably one hand the amount of boomers I'd really shed a tear over. Boomer apocalypse. That's right, chat. Boomer apocalypse. Oh, did you see that Snickers ad? Okay, so I saw it getting passed around. It's a Snickers ad where this boomer is complaining about how he has to work because his 32-year-old son lives at home and works part-time. And it's like, odds are your 32-year-old son lives at home and works 50 hours a week and still can't afford a fucking place. Your 32-year-old son probably has the exact same job you had at 32, where you could afford a house and a car and your wife to stay at home and 2.5 kids and a dog and a cat. The virus is Mother Nature addressing climate change / overpopulation. Maybe. I don't know. I've had a bit of a cold all week. Maybe I already got it, Maybe I'm a carrier. It's not heavily affecting me. It's just everyone around me dropping dead. We shall see. Well, like I said, hopefully that Mario Kart video will be up by the end of the week, at least. I don't know how long my that camera that had gone into suspended animation is going to take to charge. I don't want to try and film it too late, because I don't live alone, and the lighting thing wouldn't be an issue, but there's batteries that you got to put in it. I think it's going to be loud, so I don't want to be making a shit ton of noise. If it's like 1 in the morning, it's ready to go. So he says, you mentioned at one stage about doing a comic arc review like the Spider-Man One More Day. Which one again was it? Well, I'm planning a review of the Blue Beetle franchise. But that's not a comic arc. That's just going over the history of the franchise. Both lore and real-world business history. I can't think of any other arcs I talked about going over. I couldn't tell you. If I might have mentioned something, but it's not coming to mind. So he says, the most likely wreck economic activity and some stability in daily life, like getting some things will be more difficult. Buy ammo and med kits now. Honestly, worse than the pandemic is the panic. That'll likely cause more damage than the virus will. So Gen X are over 40, and the highly affected group in China are at least are the Gen X / boomers. Well, yeah, that's just naturally the case. Younger, healthy people. I'm 36. I'm not exactly a spring chicken, but I'm not really old either. So, maybe it'll kill me. I don't know. I made my peace with God. We'll see. There's a line in an episode of Rick and Morty, and again, I know Rick and Morty fans are cringe, but it is a good show. Where, they talk about vampires being real, and they're like, who knew vampires were real? And Rick's like, most of humanity for most of history. But she's like, what are we going to do? And he just goes, we're going to live our lives until we die. Possibly by vampire. More likely from car accident or heart attack, but possibly vampire. And that's how you got to approach a lot of stuff like this. Yeah, you take your precautions. I'm not saying don't, but at the end of the day, you just got to be like, I'm going to live my life until I die. Possibly from coronavirus. More likely from heart disease or car accident, but possibly from coronavirus. At the same time, I'm not saying you should just dismiss it and act like there's nothing to be concerned about. Like, it's, the flu kills more people. Like Medicare was on that one doctor read the tweet, like, the flu kills more people. It's like, yeah, I don't believe there's a city of 5 million getting quarantined because of the flu. So, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But yet, once again, to whichever listener it was that got me the Mario Kart track, I just blown away by that. That's so cool. I mean, a lot of people have gotten me stuff off the wish list before. Um, and, sometimes like a video game or something, there's some pricey things on the wish list. Some are out of print books that, you know, sometimes they're like $30, sometimes they're like $100, depending on just ups and downs. But, then there's some pricey items on the wish list. And, I just throw them on there because, it's like the lottery. You can't win if you don't buy a ticket, sort of thing. And I really did not expect anyone was going to give me this damn thing. Every time I go to Target, I would see it, and I just like have to fight myself because $80, man. That's I really don't think it's worth $80. I gotta be honest with you, I really don't. I could see that. I really can't see that being worth it at a price point over. I mean, we'll see when I put it together how cool it is, but I doubt it. I couldn't see it being worth more than 60. I mean, a brand new, the actual Mario Kart video game doesn't cost you more than Mario Kart 8 on the Switch doesn't cost you more than 60. So yeah, I don't believe that a Mario Kart Hot Wheels track is really worth $80. I just don't. Shaking the iced tea, I know. Hopefully it's not too loud in the mic. I would like, somebody mentioned in chat, covering more comics things. There's a lot of comic stuff I'd like to cover. I'd like to maybe cover the Amalgam universe DC and Marvel did, where the two universes were combined. There's some cool shit about that I'd like to talk about. And just there are some comics out there I'd like to talk. It'd be nice to talk about Invincible. I sort of fell out of that for a while, but I read like the first 8 or 9 volumes at least. That's a good superhero comic that's worth reading, and it's its own thing. So you don't have to know anything going into it. There's other smaller independent superhero books I wouldn't mind talking about, just because they're great. We're checking out Empowered is another one. Adam Warren's Empowered, great stuff. Bomb Queen's pretty cool. It's the story of a villain who's taken over a city, and the U.S. government basically just gave up and let her have it, declared it a no man's land. Yes, Napoleon, I did say I'd give you a wrench. I don't think I've seen you in a while, though, is why. But there you go. Yeah, you got a mod wrench. I mean, you're a moderator in my Discord, so you could be a moderator in the chat. But yeah, there's some comics like that I'd like to talk about. I'd like to talk about Dynamite's Red Sonja run, because that's really great, at least before Gail Simone had the reins, because Gail Simone is shit. And stuff like that. Somebody says, I saw a super short stream you did about Davis and how he just makes you sad now. Honestly, that proves you a decent human being if you can feel sad over someone like him. Well, he is sad. I mean, I don't know if that proves I'm a decent human being. I don't know if I'll go that far. I don't know. I don't know if I really am. But yeah, he is sad. I mean, guy sat alone in the dark and the cold on Christmas, happy that the liquor store was open. Wow, man. It's a big oof, as they say. I mean, I joked about, he doesn't like Christmas, but he doesn't. He doesn't have anybody to celebrate it with when you get right down to it. It says, is Owen Benjamin finally dead? I haven't heard anything about him. I'm sure we would have heard if he died. I don't know what he's up to. I don't even know where you find his new streams. I really don't watch his content raw. I watch like clips and shit or people making fun of him. But I really his content's pretty boring. I mean, I know it's like a stream of consciousness kind of thing, and you know that can be hit or miss. I mean, I don't claim like my content is amazing and riveting shit. But it's really just a madman rambling about moon Jews and his shit. I mean, how much of that can you really watch? But you know what? In all fairness, we make fun of Owen because he's especially crazy. But that's the online right in a nutshell. I mean, it's most of these guys ramble on about bullshit. Ramble on about how alpha they are, ramble on about this or that conspiracy theory, and there's nothing wrong with talking politics, but it's like, just see everything through that lens. It's boring. It's just boring. There's no way around it. You know, I'd rather have fun. You know, there's that Jay Dyer tweet I was making fun of. Like on the Facebook page where he shows some clip of some nerd live streamer or YouTuber or whatever who's got, you know, he's got the shelf full of all the fucking figurines and shit behind him. He's like, I'm so sick of seeing quote unquote men with a bunch of toys around them. It's like, cool, dude. Yes, Jay, you're so grown up. We will pat you on the head and tell you you're so grown up, if that is what you need. Like, don't you have some insane bullshit to ramble on about? What is it C.S. Lewis said? You know, that when I became a man, I put away childish things, and there's nothing more childish than being concerned about looking grown up. You know, adults don't worry about whether or not they look grown up. Like, it's just as simple as that. An adult is not concerned about appearing childish. If you are concerned about appearing childish, you haven't grown since the teenager stage. There's that old joke for people that are into like nerdy shit and all. It's like, you know, you went through a phase in your teenage years where you were ashamed of that stuff, and either you weren't into it anymore even though you still liked it, or you pretended like you weren't. Because that's how a teenager is. A teenager is concerned about being an adult. I'm a man now. Got my driver's license, and I'm going to get my dick wet, and all this other stuff. You're talking about crushing puss all the time. I'm a man. I'm a grown-up. You know, you're 16, 17, something like that. But you're supposed to grow out of that. Children are the ones that are concerned about appearing grown up. Teenagers, really. And the vast majority of this online circle, right, left, what have you, never matured past high school. When you get right down to it, never matured past high school. That's why they go on about how they're alphas. They talk about crushing puss all the time. Or they talk about how mature they are in their family. Hey, Torba, the Gab guy, he was another good example of that. Remember when everyone's passing around Baby Yoda memes? He's like, if only these people were having actual families instead of passing around Baby Yoda memes. Yes, Torba, make sure no one's having fun. You know, first of all, I imagine some of the people passing around Baby Yoda memes are married and or have children. I imagine that is the case. I don't believe there's anything about watching the Mandalorian show on Disney Plus or liking Baby Yoda memes, doing either or, that prevents you from having a family. I really don't think that is the case. I mean, if it did prevent you from having kids, I guess the Catholic Church would ban it. Because the only birth control they approve of is the rhythm method because it doesn't work and they're trying to trick you. But yeah, no fun allowed. I remember Gavin McInnes. He was famous for that shit. He talked about, like, back when Gamergate was a thing, he's like, Gamergate's gay because real men shouldn't be playing video games or reading comic books. They should be making furniture or something. Like, what? Also, by the way, Gavin, I don't know if I'm keen on listening to what a real man is all about from a dude who loves to shove butt plugs up his butt and make out with Milo. So, don't know if you're in a position to lecture the rest of us. Mr. McAnus. Not sure if that's the case. But that's the online right. Just obsessed with looking grown up. And there's nothing more childish. Oh, the other is, you talk about a boomer take, and again, I don't even dislike Jay Dyer. I really don't. I've had nothing but pleasant interactions with him. He does seem like a nice guy, so I understand that. I'm not fuck Jay Dyer, but it was cringe. And then he's talking about under that tweet of, like, real men don't have toys. He's like, having all these figures is like a natural birth control. What a boomer take. You realize there really isn't any stigma to the nerd shit anymore. There really isn't. I mean, hell, as I pointed out on here, stuff like Mario Party or Mario Kart, especially, or Smash Brothers, fantastic fucking date games. If there's an arcade, you want to talk about some dating advice. If there's an arcade still in your area, a decent one, that is a fantastic place to take a date. Because I know this is a shock to some of these people that are anti-fun, but it actually bonds people together when they have fun together. Take a girl to an arcade, even if it doesn't work out and you broke up with her, she has memories of you gonna follow her in the next relationships. So yeah, it's a bunch of guys and they want to talk about how manly they are. It's a bunch of guys and they want to talk about how smart they are. They want to talk about how they're alphas, they're sigmas, or other gay shit. Gay made up fucking shit. Somebody says, I took my wife to a laser tag on the first date. Damn right, man. I know this is a shock, but girls like to have fun. I know. Like, I highly suggest you don't sit at dinner with a date and ramble on about whatever far right esoteric politics you're into. I would highly doubt that. I would highly suggest not doing that, I should say. He says if you play Mario Party with a girl, you'll end up breaking up. It's fucking, can get a little competitive, yes. Somebody says YouTube comments censor everything. Yeah, I can't do anything about that. I don't have far as I know, I don't have any censorship things set up on here, but I know YouTube auto puts a lot of that on there, and there's stuff you just can't get away with saying. Period. It's sorry to tell you. Wish it weren't the case. I am a unicorn male. I smash it like a planet. Whatever you do, don't play Monopoly. Well, no, who the hell has 8 hours to spare to play Monopoly? Monopoly takes fucking longer. Takes longer than a D&D game. Somebody says, I've seen some pretty tame comments censored now. Again, can't help you there, guys. It's YouTube. Or apples to apples. Apples to apples is something like every fucking evangelical girl brings to like some fucking, when a Bible study has like a game night, in the once in the summer or something. You have to marry her to be playing Monopoly. You know how a Monopoly game ends? Somebody flipping over the board and saying, fuck this game. It's 4 a.m. You win. That's how a Monopoly game ends. But yeah, like I said, that's just a lot of this online political sphere. It's boring. It's boring. I'd much rather put together a Mario Kart Hot Wheels track than listen to somebody go on about how they're a Sigma. So he said everybody golf is a good party game. I have a big Mega Man the board game. A board game. I actually was one of the people that funded the Kickstarter back in like 2013. It's fine. The problem is, it's one of those things you got to get a bunch of friends together and clear out some time. People saying join the Discord server. Yes, indeed. Play PvE games with a girl. That way you work together. Mario, New Super Mario Brothers Wii had a really good multiplayer mode. That was a lot of fun. As far as like cooperative multiplayer. And if you're into old retro games like me, I mean, just pop in a good beat 'em up. The Turtles in Time. Great example. Great beat 'em up. Spider-Man Separation Anxiety. Fantastic beat 'em up. A lot of the Turtles games, Hyperstone Heist, 2 and 3 on the NES. Good cooperative games. Streets of Rage on the Genesis. Those are good beat 'em ups. Double Dragon even on the NES. So people would do more good if they started a gaming club or something that builds a community rather than complaining there's a community. Yeah, but that's real men don't do that. Oh, how boring must you be? How boring must Gavin McInnes be? If he apparently has no hobbies or interests, because that's childish. Like, what would Gavin possibly talk about other than politics, then, I guess? You want to know what's a good game to play on the first date? Second base. What even is second base? Is that like feeling her boobs or something? I can't remember. Isn't third base getting your dick sucked? 'Cause, home run is your fucker. Um, yeah, I don't remember what second base was. First base, I guess you make out with a chick. I don't really remember what the bases were. Sort of went from 0 to 60 when I had a high school girlfriend, so we weren't really counting bases. Um, things kind of went from 0 to 60 in a big old hurry. I went from having not done anything with a girl to having done basically everything. Um, Apparently, the Grammys is being domed or doomed. But did you mean doomed or domed by super fat levels of diversity? Oh, this should make for great content this week. I mean, I don't really watch the Grammys, so couldn't tell you. I thought third is over the chest or second is over the clothes and third is under. I thought third was getting your dick sucked. Because I thought home run was having sex. Making money is their main focus. Oh yeah, they don't call it the merchant right for nothing. And that's so many of them. I get it. You're a content creator. You want to make money. I mean, I certainly want people to hit up the PayPal, Patreon, and Amazon. Domed equal dominated. That's what I thought, but I was like, is that because I mean I know that. Trust me, I know that. But I didn't. I don't know if Donovan Warland's innocent ears knew that term. Yeah, I know that term all too well. Dominated, Granny's full retard, sex. Just look it up on Twitter. But yeah, the merchant right, they don't call them that for nothing. And again, everybody is content creating. They want their donations. They want super chats and all that. And I want that stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I started this by talking about how somebody sent me some dumb shit off my wish list, which I did actually organize the other day too. And kind of moved it by, I guess, like books, then like video games, then like figures, then and I got a section just for car air fresheners with some sort of little air freshener hang under your rear view. I got a whole bunch of those on there, like Nintendo ones and stuff like that. I live by Amish country. Always helps to have an air freshener in your car. So he says, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Yeah, I saw he died earlier today. I mean, I don't really watch basketball. I'd rather watch basketball than football. I'll give you that much, but that's not saying much. Real talk, though, if people want things to change, they need to start interacting and building local communities around common interests. Yeah, no shit. You gotta ramble on about weird esoteric shit on the internet. Yeah, get involved in a local church. Even if you're just into nerd stuff, maybe don't order everything on Amazon you want if you're into nerd shit. Maybe actually if you're lucky enough to have comic book stores or retro game stores or whatever in your area, go to them. Even if you're not looking for something, just go to them for something to do on a Saturday afternoon. Talk to people. Interact with people. Do you a world of good. But yeah, I don't know any. I mean, I know a little bit about Kobe Bryant. I mean, he's second greatest basketball player ever, I guess, after Jordan. But I mean, I don't really watch basketball, so I couldn't tell you a ton about it. I prefer hockey, and even that I don't really watch. I just, hockey's something you got to go out of your way to follow. So it says I hang out with guys who like shooting old guns and watch anime, and it helped with my depression a lot. Yeah, it'll do that. Amazon is full of speculators sitting on stuff for overinflating prices anyways. It's funny you mentioned that. I remember this back when I still had Craig Langley on as the regular co-host. We were making fun of Jim Sterling. This was right when the first Splatoon game came out. Amiibos were still all the rage. I mean, they're still popular, but not like they were. So Sterling was complaining that he couldn't find Amiibos, right, for Splatoon. And he was talking about, Nintendo's not making enough. This is ridiculous. I'm done with Amiibos, right? Okay, fine. The problem with that is, in my area at least, the Amiibos were plentiful. I literally, I picked up Splatoon and an Amiibo for it that day, the day it came out. And I literally had an easier time finding the Amiibo. I went to Best Buy first because I literally worked right near one. It was on the way home from work. I stopped at Best Buy. I went in. They had the Amiibo still, but they were sold out on the game. I went to my local retro game store after that, and I picked up the game. So literally, I had an easier time finding the Amiibos than the game. Now, if you'd gone online that first weekend, all the speculators on eBay and Amazon were, had the Amiibos for no less than like $25 a piece. But in my local area, asked around, they were very abundant, and I noticed them all week, and all the GameStops, all that kind of shit. I asked Craig, and he had said that he noticed them too in his area. He was upstate New York. I'd asked some other people in other areas of the country, all of which said you could readily find them in stores. And that was eventually the speculation bubble burst and all. A bunch of people bought them, threw them immediately online, tried to inflate the price. I say all that to say, like, Jim Sterling just looked on Amazon and eBay and believed that's just what the prices were. Because Jim Sterling is a monstrously morbidly obese shut-in who never leaves his house unless he's being paid to go to a con. That's fucking sad. That is very, very sad. It's what's even sadder though is that people take Jim Sterling's opinion seriously. A lot of people, for reasons I can't fathom. Guy does make a killing. I mean, he is as wretched a person as they come, as pitiful a person as they come. But he does make a killing. You got to give him that. He makes the money. I mean, buy your way out of hell with that money, but he makes the money. But yeah, Jim Sterling just believed that Splatoon amiibos were impossible to get because Jim Sterling never leaves the house. So he says, never seen the shortage YouTubers going about. I saw a little bit of it early on in the amiibos thing. For certain ones were hard to find, but they still weren't impossible to find if you actually looked. I mean, I don't understand how... If you're a nerd and you're into collecting shit, don't you understand the hunt? Like, I've heard people argue that collecting isn't a hobby. And I kind of get where they're coming from on that because, you know, I don't like speculators, I'll tell you that much. If you collect things because you believe them going to be worth money, you should drink bleach. That said, though, if you like things and you collect them because you like them, I used to collect comic books. Avidly collect comic books. Now, I got out of that. I still read comic books, but I don't hold on to almost any. I have 2 boxes I hold on to. one filled with random issues, one filled with an almost complete run of What If. Um, and both volumes and most of the one shots. Um, but I collected comics because I liked them. But part of my real hobby, I guess, was reading comic books. But I also collected, and the thing about that is you learn to look for stuff. There's the hunt aspect of it, and I would say that applies to people that collect toys or amiibos or figurines or anything. I guess you can collect old video games, what have you. You know, I don't know. Maybe you collect fucking Matchbox cars, you know, or Hot Wheels cars or something like that. You know. Um, I got that Hot Wheels track after all. But whatever it is. But I would say collecting is a hobby in the sense that, there's the sociable aspect. You go to cons, you go to stores, you network with people, you ask around, that sort of thing. But if you just go on eBay when you want something and boom, buy it, and boom, there you go, that's not a hobby. I never liked buying comics online. First of all, I was exceedingly picky about condition. So what somebody calls near mint was probably not what I called near mint. But also, there were times when there was something I was really, really wanted to find and really, really wanted to read. Or there was really good deals. I remember every once in a while Mile High would have really good deals. I bought most of Volume 1 of Spider-Man 2099 on Mile High for less than $1 a piece, near mint. Because it was in the mid-2000s when comics were at a low price-wise. But also they just had excess of certain issues. Mile High, if you watch them, prices will go up and down on certain stuff. But yeah, I think 98 cents was the most expensive single issue I paid for on there. But generally I don't like ordering online. Unless I have to. I think the first time I ordered a comic online, I got you had to mail order it. The first Tomb Raider comic, it had Witchblade in it. Tomb Raider Witchblade #1. But generally I don't like ordering online unless I get a really good deal or I've just really been looking for it for a while and I just give up. I would rather look for it and find it. That's more fun. So he says, what you're describing with going online as a reflex is the essence of consumerism to a two-host. Yeah, it is. I mean, I'll order stuff online. I order stuff on Amazon. If I'm looking for a book or a video game or something. I might order Pokemon Pinball online. I put both Pokemon Pinball games on the wish list. And I might just go ahead and grab them myself. I don't know. I'm trying to gather a handful of video pinball games. I think I want to do a video on them. Plus, I like them. It's just something I've been on kick on lately. I probably have a lot of them on this external hard drive here, but I'd rather actually play them on the original hardware. I'll just maybe use the external hard drive if I'm going to capture some footage to make a video about them. That's actually a video topic I was thinking of. If I can get my retarded ass to figure out, and get the software I need and all to actually make videos, I'd like to do a video going over just a bunch of like mascot pinball games. Like video pinball. Like Kirby's Pinball Land on a Game Boy. The 2 Pokemon pinball games. Mario Pinball Land. There's Pac-Man Pinball Advance. That one's pretty good. Sonic Spinball, of course. Stuff like that. Maybe do the Metroid Pinball, although I don't think I have that on the external hard drive, and I have no way to capture DS footage right now, so. But that would be a fun topic, and I don't see a lot of people cover that. But, I might pick those up, because I actually did look around this weekend at the retro game stores, and none of them seem to have either one. which is weird because for a while I swear everybody had like multiple copies of Pokemon Pinball. You know, it's the big goofy cart because it's got the rumble pack in it. You put a little AAA battery in the back of it. I swear everybody had a bunch of those. And now that I actually want it, I look around, everybody's sold out. Ain't that the way? So, you know, maybe I'll order it online. Who knows? I'm not opposed to ordering it online. I'd rather support my local shop. I'm in this rural bumfuck county of mine. I'm blessed to have. I have Just Press Play, which is a retro game store that has 3 locations in my county and one in the next county over. I have Complete in Box, which is a retro game store / comic book store. That's up at the north end of my county, so it's a good 45-minute drive. I have 2 really nice comic book stores. So he says pinball is fun for a date. I always enjoyed pinball. You know, I never was very good at it, but I always enjoyed it. There's a Nightmare on Elm Street pinball machine. There's an arcade in my area that's one of those where everything's free to play, but you pay to be in there by the hour. Like it's like $10 to hang out there for an hour. But everything's free to play, and they have a really nice Nightmare on Elm Street pinball machine. It's kind of funny. Video pinball is kind of a funny topic because I mean, pinball is sort of, you know, the thing that video games almost replaced. You know. Collecting is most often one aspect of a hobby. Yes, indeed. Like, I mean, I collect retro video games because I like retro video games. Yeah. I collected comic books because I liked comic books. I mean, I guess, I don't know if I'd say I collect them because I don't really keep them in a package, but I have a bunch of, like, figures. Like action figures, but that's of stuff I like. I don't buy an action figure just, you know, because I think it's going to go up in value or something. I gotta tell you, I really hope I can get that damn camera to charge tonight. Man, I want to set up that track. That looks like fucking fun. Let's see, go into the chat here a little bit. Like I said, I'm probably going to be taking February off just entirely from streaming. Back away for it a little bit, figure out where I want to go with the channel. I don't know. Part of me actually thought of like just sort of abandoning the Bechtloff channel and actually going back to the backup channel, the Land Shark, and actually... I originally started that channel as I was going to make gaming videos, and I never did because I don't know how to make videos. But maybe it's about time I got off my ass and figured out how to do that. You know, maybe just make... I might do that tonight. Maybe I'll make all the videos on the Land Shark thing, unlist it, and just use that to make, you know, try and make a go of making a gaming channel. Who knows? I'm a little worried about that, though. Like, I mean, I know it's not y'all's problem because you're not content creators, but it's... I mean, if you don't have a good Patreon base, you can't make ad money. You can't make money on ads. First of all, everything's going to get demonetized for some bullshit reason, you know. Some sound clip from its copyright or something. They'll nail you. Fair use be damned. You know, and then, okay, you'll dispute it, and a month later, now you can start making money off of it because the dispute didn't go through, but you already had all the video. You already got 90% of the views you'll ever get on that video. So outside of live streaming, where you get the super chats, there's not really a way to make money. on YouTube. I don't know. Maybe even move it to BitChute. Who knows? But like I said, that's just, I gotta figure that out. But, just talking about politics and, hanging out with the crowd of people that I just don't want to hang out with anymore. It's not gonna work for me. Um, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, folks. All right. If you enjoy the content I put out, do consider supporting the show. We got the PayPal, Patreon, and Amazon wish list. And as I mentioned, the Patreon, I'm gonna let it go through at the end of January, but I will suspend it for February because I'm not gonna collect Patreon ducats if I'm not putting out content. I'm not spoony. But PayPal and Amazon wishlist are also acceptable. Yeah. That's about it for tonight. Just kind of, I mostly just felt like thanking whoever got me that track. That's very cool. Right, that's about all we got for tonight, folks. I want to thank you all for listening. Bechtloff out.